morning. Welcome to Mantra 108. We are on day number 6 of our new mantra, our Shantipat mantra, our peace mantra. Beautiful peace mantra. So how's everyone this morning? Have a little sip of tea. So while I'm waiting for folks, I'll tell you that something that's new to me during this COVID situation is that I've begun to be a gardener. My husband and I planted a beautiful vegetable garden, and it's starting to reap some wonderful benefits. We have, good morning, people starting to join. We've got lots of wonderful greens for our salads from our garden. We've got some beautiful eggplants that are, I don't know about that big now, that are growing nicely. Our tomatoes are starting to turn red. We've got zucchini and yellow squash and golden bell peppers and jalapeno peppers. I have serranos planted too, but my serranos haven't started to come out yet. Lots of herbs, some beans that don't seem to be thriving yet. Corn is growing tall. Some cantaloupe that doesn't seem to be doing much yet. So anyway, I'm having a fun time learning how to be a gardener. But within the last few days, some critters have been visiting our garden and eating a little bit off of the zucchini. And we've discovered that they are rats, little rats that are coming to eat our garden. So we have traps on the way so that we can relocate these little critters and get them out of our garden and back into some other environment where they can find food other than at our house. So I think there are enough of us here that we can start our practice. So we're on our 6th day during this whole first week. We've been looking at really all of the particulars that are important in practicing Sanskrit mantra. We've been looking at the varna, the pronunciation. We've been looking at the matra, the meter. We've been looking at the shrara, the tone. We've been looking at the importance of some of the specific letters. In fact, yesterday we talked about the visarga and what a magical letter that is, and it's one of my 2 favorites of the alphabet. And each day now we're going to start to increase the pace of our recitation of this mantra a little bit. Now that we've gotten grounded in the pronunciation. So I think I can begin just a little bit in getting into this lovely little 8-point meditation plan book and talk to you a little bit from this. So Eswaran was my very first mantra, my very first meditation teacher in the early 70s. And I'll tell you a little bit more about him later, but this book that he wrote used to be called Passages, Meditations, an 8-point plan. But he switched it, or they switched it later on to Meditation, an 8-point program. So those 8 points are meditation, repetition of the mantra, slowing down, giving one-pointed attention, training the senses, putting the welfare of others first, spiritual companionship, and reading from the scriptures and great mystics of all religions. So, so I thought that I would read to you a little bit each day about these different practices. They're all very important when we're doing spiritual practice, and for different reasons. And so we'll get into those. But I wanted to just talk just a little bit about the first two, meditation and repetition of the mantra, because Aishwaran presents it a little bit differently than I do. So just very quickly, he teaches meditation. Okay, so his teaching of meditation is different than his teaching of mantra. His teaching of meditation is that you should learn a passage, a fairly lengthy passage, and sit in meditation. You should memorize that passage, and then you should sit in meditation to repeat the passage over and over again. And as you repeat this passage that you've learned, you are causing a really wonderful environment for meditation, because much like I've taught you about our mantra practice, it anchors that busy mind to something, so that rather than going over the grocery list and remembering who you're mad at and yearning for how you're going to create a trip to the lake when you're in COVID isolation, all of these things. Instead of the mind being so busy with all of that, the mind focuses on the passage and focuses on the repetition of the passage that you have memorized. And Eswaran teaches, all of the many things that I've taught you in classes before about creating a good environment for you to do your meditation. A quiet environment, a stable environment, a place where you can go to and sit down and know that that is your place for meditation. Teaching you how to sit and have a nice long spine. A lot of the things that Eswaran teaches about how to meditate, I've already taught you about how to meditate, how to create an environment for meditation, I should say. Now, skipping forward to mantra. So then what he teaches about mantra is a little different, because the meditation practice, memorizing the passage and doing the meditation practice, you're seated in your place of meditation. You're doing your meditation. You're coming to that place every day. You're creating a habit for yourself. You're honoring that habit. That is your discipline. You do that before you do anything else. All of this is part of what he teaches as the importance of really creating a discipline for a meditation practice. And then the mantra he teaches as something different. The mantra is a word or a couple of words or a very small phrase or mantra, as we call it, that you can use all the time throughout your day. You can use it when you're driving. You can use it when you're trying to fall asleep. You can use it when you're on a walk in your neighborhood. You can use it when you're standing in line at the grocery store. Again, it's something that the mind anchors to. So our mantra practice does a little bit of both of these things. We are we've been in the process this whole week of memorizing this mantra, this peace mantra. The passage we've had to memorize, or we're still memorizing. You know, if you're still reading it, it's okay, you'll begin to memorize it. But memorizing the passage so that you can close down the eyes and go inside and really gain the benefit that we've talked about in chanting in Sanskrit. The sound is the form. When we chant about peace, we become peace. When we chant about sharing peace with the world, we share peace with the world. When we chant about doing all we can to keep people happy and free from disease and focusing on what is spiritually uplifting, we become those things. We do those things for ourselves. We become those things for ourselves. And all of this causes us to continue to circle back to Purusha, to this inner light of awareness, and to recognize our connection with divine consciousness, our expression of divine consciousness. So, Aishwaran is teaching us to sit in discipline with our meditation practice. He's also teaching us to use our mantra when we're out and about, when we're moving through our life. And both of those things become very important in our practice as he teaches. So, some examples that he gives in the book of mantras, depending upon what tradition you come from. You know, if you're Islamic, it might be Allahu Akbar. If you're Buddhist, it might be Om Mani Padme Hum. If you're Hindu, it might become Rama, 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 Rama. If you're Christian, it might become Jesus, Jesus. Or it might become Hail Mary. Or it might become the Hail Mary. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. You know, and depending upon what our tradition is, that's the mantra that we can choose to use, that just we replay in the brain over and over and over and over again. Now, we've practiced quite a few mantras in these past few months. And so you have a lot of mantras that you've learned about, that have become a rich study for you, a rich practice for you. For instance, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya. We learned all about that a couple of sessions ago. So we've got that we could draw from for our mantra that we carry around with us. We've got, I'm forgetting what, we've got our Ganesha mantra that we could carry around. We have our, we did a Mitraya, the friendship element of the sun. We did that mantra. We did, what else? We did, of course we did Asatoma and the Purana mantras. Those are a little longer. But we can also carry this mantra around with us. So I would say that that's the main difference, that Aishwaran, he teaches a lot of finer points about these things, but the main differences are that your mantra practice should be a passage that you have memorized, that you repeat. When you stumble, you go back to the beginning and repeat it again. So our meditation practice is chanting 108 of our mantra that we're working on now, whatever current mantra it is. And the other thing that he teaches about meditation, I really advise you guys to get this book. This is a wonderful book, wonderful book. The other thing that he teaches about your meditation passage that you are learning, which is not something that we're concentrating so much on here, because we don't want to sit here for an hour and a half with our repetition. But he teaches very slowly, dropping the words into your consciousness, like you're dropping pearls into water and watching the ripple that happens. So one of the things that he advises is to start, because he's talking to a Western audience, he likes to start people with the St. Francis prayer. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is sadness, let me sow joy. Where there is, that one. I used to have it memorized when I was doing this practice, but I don't anymore. So if you were repeating that, it would be something like, Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is sorrow, let me sow joy. Where there is, so you get the idea. You're dropping each pearl slowly into the water. So if we were to do it with this particular mantra, since we know the translation and we know the pronunciation, it might go something like this. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ, Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ, etc. We might do it very slowly. And, we may play with that later on in our practice. We may play with taking a day where we're chanting this mantra in the way that Eswaran recommends that we chant or make repetition in our daily meditation practice. But you could also carry this with you as your mantra practice. So I'm in the grocery store line and I'm just waiting. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ, Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ, Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu, Kaścidduḥkha Bhavet. I can even do it internally. I don't have to move my lips at all. I keep all of the sounds internal because it is Sanskrit and because our mouth position is important. Either think or do that mouth position, even if you're thinking it internally. Yeah. So these are just two little basic things that I wanted to tell you about the way Eswaran presents a meditation practice and a mantra practice. And I'll talk a little more tomorrow morning about the way he advises what he calls a mantra practice. I'm calling our meditation practice a mantra practice. Our meditation practice, our mantra practice is our meditation practice. But tomorrow I'll talk about a little bit of a different way that you can use mantra out about in the world and make that a part of your life. Okay, Let's get started with our mantra. And we're going to speed it up just a little bit, 10, 15, 20, and we'll chant for 25 minutes. We'll chant until 8:45. So we're going to speed it up a little today. Go ahead and close your eyes and get yourself in that place where we begin to connect to where we are right now, this moment. Bring yourself fully to your practice by first grounding to the earth. Envision grounding cords going from you deeply into the Earth Mother. Be nurtured by that energy. And then opening to the heavens at your crown. Being nurtured also by that expansive heavenly energy. Begin to soften yourself into this moment. Soften yourself into today's practice. Soften yourself by softening your skin, softening your muscles, bringing that soft quality to your heart and to your mind. We'll take an inhale together to begin. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ, Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ, Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu, Kaścidduḥkha Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ, Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ, Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu, Kaścidduḥkha Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ, Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ, Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu, Kaścidduḥkha Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ, Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ, Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu, Kaścidduḥkha Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ, Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ, Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu, Kaścidduḥkha Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ, Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ, Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu, Kaścidduḥkha Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ, Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ, Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu, Kaścidduḥkha Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ, Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ, Sarve Bhadrāṇi Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu. Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu. Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu. Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu. Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu. Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu. Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu. Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu. Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu. Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu. Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu. Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu. Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu. ma kaścidduḥkha bhāg bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ, Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ, Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu, ma Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ, Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ, Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu, ma Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ, Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ, Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu, ma Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ, Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ, Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu, ma Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ, Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ, Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu, ma Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ, Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ, Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu, ma Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ, Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ, Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu, ma Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ, Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ, Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu, ma Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ, Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ, Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu, ma Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ, Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ, Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu, ma Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ, Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ, Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu, ma Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ, Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ, Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu, ma Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadraṇi Paśyantu. Ma Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadraṇi Paśyantu. Ma Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadraṇi Paśyantu. Ma Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadraṇi Paśyantu. Ma Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadraṇi Paśyantu. Ma Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadraṇi Paśyantu. Ma Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadraṇi Paśyantu. Ma Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadraṇi Paśyantu. Ma Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadraṇi Paśyantu. Ma Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadraṇi Paśyantu. Ma Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadraṇi Paśyantu. Ma Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadraṇi Paśyantu. Ma Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadraṇi Paśyantu. Ma Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu. Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu. Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu. Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu. Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu. Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu. Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu. Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu. Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu. Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu. Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu. Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadrāṇi Paśyantu. Kaścidduḥkha Bhāg Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadrani Paśyantu Ma Kaścidduḥkha Bhavet. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaḥ. Sarve Santu Nirāmayāḥ. Sarve Bhadraṇi Paśyantu Ma Kaścidduḥkha Bhavet. Sit with the vibration of your sound. That brings us to the end of our practice today. So hopefully you're beginning to feel the deeper levels of your practice. Just sitting in the vibration of your sound you might feel some wonderful sensations in your body. You might feel a gentle rocking. You might feel an overall kind of vibrational quality in your physical body, a buzzing. You might feel more spaciousness. You might feel things going on in your head, you know, in the skull area. There are all kinds of things that you may begin to feel through the vibration of this Sanskrit, these beautiful Sanskrit syllables moving through your energetic body and your physical body. So one of the delights of the practice. We got through quite a bit more today. The bottom line of beads is what we did today. So more than yesterday because we picked up the pace a little, and this was only in 25 minutes and we chanted for 30 minutes yesterday. So we are getting to a place where we're going to be able to chant the whole mantra. We'll pick up the pace again tomorrow, but we won't chant the whole thing. And then on Monday, our second week, we'll begin to chant the entire mantra, the entire mala. All righty. That's it for today. Enjoy your day. We'll talk a little more about Aswaran's idea of meditation and mantra a little bit more tomorrow, and then we'll move on to the next of his teachings, which is slowing down. We'll spend some time we'll slow down for slowing down. Spend some time talking about that, probably on Monday. All right. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your weekend. And I'll see you in the morning.